So last time we ended up with this, and let's stick this on now. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantal, and this is a series where I will show you how to make a journal start to finish. If you haven't seen the first one, you can find it in the iCard section here. Let's get into this one. So first of all, let me take all these clips off. Now, first of all, I need to glue on this fabric. And I need to check what kind of closure she wanted. Because if it's an attached closure, I want to put that on before I glue in the end papers. Or the fly leaf, whatever you want to call it. And if it's not an attached binding or a closure, I can do it after. But first, this needs to be glued on. So what I will do, I'll put this there. I'll put glue on this one. And then I'll glue that into place like that. So I know I'm exactly in the middle. I can press it down. Then I'm making sure that I will get that gap completely covered in glue, because that's where we want that definition to show up. Well, not on this side, but at least on the other side. So and if you're not going to cover this, then obviously you want that to show up. There we have that. Now I'm gonna cover the entire cover with glue. And with the bone folder, I make sure that that definition of that soft cover and then the board is there. Just pressing it in. See that? That's the definition I'm talking about. It's just a nice extra element to the journal. And I'm gonna do the same with the other side. I want this tag at the front, which is basically where you can put in your name or say journal or whatever. And I'm gonna leave that blank, but I've already started doing this, but I'll show you how. So I'm measuring how wide the journal is, which is 8 inch. So half of that is 4, so I'm just lining it up there. Let me find where the hole is. There. So I'm just lining that up in the middle of 4. And then poke some holes and put some eyelets in. Not eyelets, how do you call that? Split thingies. Split thingies. I really can't think of the name right now, but brads? Maybe they're brads? I don't know. Mind you, I have to go through 2 layers of fabric and a book cover. Just need to make sure that they go through. Ah, they do. Poke myself in the finger. And that they don't bend on the inside. There we go. They do. They fit. So what I'll do now is we want to do that before you put anything on the inside. And then with the smaller nozzle, I want to put some glue on there because that's the only way I'm gonna put it on, or gonna get it on. I'm just gonna line up those holes. There we go. Now I can put some, or she can put some paper in there with her name or whatever. Put some glue on there and a little dollop there and there. Just a little bit, so I'll wipe the rest off. Just so it's in there. And then whatever you can fold back here, just fold that back as much as you can. The cover of this book is pretty thick, so there won't be much to fold over, but at least they're in there. And you might just want to do that with some pliers. That is what it looks like on the inside. Just ever so slightly folded in, and then you can see it's pressing into the fabric. But that's all good. So now, if I have a piece of paper somewhere, it will be very narrow, but at least it doesn't fall out. You can just put it, we'll probably put some cardstock in there, but you can just put it in there, and then you can write journal. It's very snug, but I think it should be, because I know that this lady is gonna have it on the go at all times, so she can keep her thoughts and everything in there. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I think now I can probably fold this over. I'll do that before I put this on, I think. Yeah. So you can trim this off slightly, but I think I'm just gonna leave that as is and put it down like that. Again, as snug as you can, but not so snug that you break the fabric. Also, I always have one finger that's covered in glue, and it will come off, but it's just one finger that I'm trying to use, not the other ones. So your journal can stay clear of glue where it should not be. See, and now we can fold in all the other edges like so. To about there. And just as tight as you can. Pressing down and pulling inwards. That looks all good and snug. Now with the top and bottom flaps, these flaps, the fabric flaps, I will start in the middle and then work my way out. Looks really good too. Make sure you get in everything with your bone folder. By the way, this is just a plastic one. It's not actual bone. I have heard though that actual bone folders get a sharper crease, but you know. And there's that. That's the whole journal covered in this fabric, and I really like how this turned out, so I might have to make one for myself. So I kind of changed my mind on what I want to do with the spine. I don't really want to cover it up with this because this looks really good to me, so I don't really want to do that to it. But what I might do is still take that velvet and glue that on, but perhaps with some lace underneath. So I need to have a look what I've got in lace, and then I might attach that there. This probably won't be long enough. No, that won't stretch all the way to there. And then this lace is too stretchy, really, because I wanted to have like an edge. So I'll have a look in my stash, see what I've got. So here I'm dyeing some of the papers in tea. Okay, sweetie pie. We'll go outside in a second, okay? And then I've got 7 tea bags, just very cheap, 100 bags for $2. And I fill this up with boiling water. It's 1 liter. And I put the tea bags in. Then I've got bicarb soda, which I add about 1.5 teaspoons in this cup. And then I pour it in here. And the bicarb soda makes it darker as well, and relieves the acidity. So this was all white, and now it's a very nice brown color, and it will go even darker. So this is where I dye my papers and cloth in this little patch of rocks. That's the tea mixture, and these are my massive pages. So A4 normally fits in, but this doesn't. What I do, I submerge it as best as I can with one hand. And I pull it out and I leave it to dry. Just there, upside down. So the white page gets the pooled water liquid on it, the mixture on it, and that will give a nice stain, because that's what we're after. And it's okay if the pages rip, that just adds to it. Because the water is hot, the pages get very delicate when they're wet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll show you what this patch looks like after. And this is what it looks like. All the papers and ephemera together. And then what I do is I just go in with my hands and I sprinkle some of the droplets on, which obviously will dry and give it more stains and character, just randomly.